This is the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri on Pulse 95.
Salam and welcome to the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri. I'm your host covering everything sport, international and local. WWE fans, you are in for a treat because my next guest right now is a specialist when it comes down to these things. And not only that, by the way, let me also tell you, he's the first of his kind right now. We're going to be talking about a lot of great things on the show today. Faisal AlMughaisib is on the show today, and finally, the worlds have connected us together. Faisal, welcome to the show.
Finally, I'm here. Thank you, Omar. Thank you. It is my pleasure to be your guest today because I'm so excited to speak and talk about WWE.
Amazing, amazing. Now, Faisal, wrestling has been around for so many generations, okay? Talk to me, what does the WWE mean to the Arab world?
It's mean a lot. WWE been here since a long time. I remember everyone I was speaking with, they always talking with me about Hulk Hogan, about legends like Ric Flair, like a lot of amazing wrestler, or from the Attitude Era, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock. There is big names, or from these days, John Cena, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. So WWE, it's been here since a long time. They were here with us since a long time, since my grandfather to my father to me now. So and for me, I like a lot of things about WWE because they are speaking our story on their TV. Not only that, but they're presenting a lot of good ideas. They present the love, being kind, how the person being kind, or how we support each other. It is not only about who's beat who. It is the message between these lines.
Yes. And tell me, Faisal, what's your first memory of being a wrestling fan? Who was your favorite wrestler?
Let me tell you that I've been watching WWE since 2010 because I'm young. But I think, it will be shocked, but my favorite is John Cena. John Cena is my favorite. Not only John Cena, but Roman Reigns. So this is, when you talk with a hardcore fan, this is not good to be a fan of John Cena. It's good to support him, to watch his matches because he's the best. But when you are WWE commentator and your favorite superstar is John Cena, it's shocked. But this is the truth, man. My favorite superstar is John Cena.
Amazing.
And Roman Reigns. And WWE have big revolution with the women. So since 2014, everything changed there. We have really amazing women superstars. So my favorite also is Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey, these big names in WWE.
Amazing, amazing. And how does it feel, Faisal, from being a fan to now being the WWE commentator? How does that feel for you?
WWE used to say never. So I never thought that I'll be someday in this position to be WWE announcer, but it was just a dream that you might have it in heaven. So I'm living my heaven now, and in this life. So it is a big dream, and I feel I'm lucky because of WWE signed a contract with the General Sport Authority in Saudi Arabia. Now they are working with the General Entertainment Authority in Saudi Arabia. I feel I'm lucky to be there because of this contract, because of this 10 years agreement. So part of that, WWE wanted to explore more in the region. They was thinking about having Arab commentators since a long time, but they didn't have a chance. But with this agreement, they had the chance to do it. I was lucky to meet them, and I was lucky to be chosen by WWE with my mate Jude, because we are now the official WWE announcers.
Fantastic. And it's in great hands with you and Jude now. I'm sure the fans are going to be great. Coming up next, we are going to be talking to Faisal more about the WWE Crown Jewel 2021 and the Wrestling Ride podcast.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri on Pulse 95.
Salam, welcome back to the Halftime Show. Now, if you do miss the shows, don't worry. You can catch all of our episodes on podcast, Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, or if you prefer a visual, head over to the YouTube channel. You get to see faces like Faisal's face on the YouTube channel on the Halftime Show with us here. Faisal, tell me more about the WWE Crown Jewel 2021.
I want to say something. It is a statement. Officially, everyone will watch Crown Jewel, will notice, will witness the biggest show, not only in the year, but in the whole decade.
Wow. So plenty of things to look forward to. What can we expect from it?
We're going to have a match between Roman Reigns, the head of the table. Roman Reigns, WWE Universal Champion, the biggest superstar in the year, who beat Undertaker in WrestleMania. Against who? Against the beast himself, Brock Lesnar, who was the first one who's beating Undertaker in WrestleMania either. So this match will be, I think it will be the main event of the show, because it was the first match they announced. It's been, or they announced about.
Yeah.
We also have, for the first time, we're gonna see 3 of the best WWE superstars. Bianca Belair, which is the EST of WWE, standing for the fattest, strongest, smartest, and the best EST, BEST. So she's the BST of WWE. Will have a match against Becky Lynch, which she called herself the Man, Becky Lynch. So the Man will face also Sasha Banks in triple threat match. This match will be on the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. This is huge because this is the 3rd time WWE having a match for the women's in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited for this match, and also who love to watch when who love to use what and also for the people who used to watch The Undertaker and Mankind and all these legends.
Old school,
we
yes.
See a match, the old school way.
Yeah.
Mankind, no. Undertaker, no. This was in the past. Now we have Edge against Seth Rollins.
Yes.
It will be amazing match because it will be inside Hell in a Cell. In Saudi Arabia for the first time ever.
Amazing. You know, we actually
also we have a lot of matches like Goldberg
Edge
against Bobby Lashley and else.
Fantastic. You know what, Faisal? We had Edge on the show. We had Bianca on the show. We had Sasha on the show. And when I hear you talk about them, and because they've been on the show before, we kind of support them as well, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Did you have them in your show?
Yes. They were amazing.
Because I met them. I met Sasha yesterday. Mm-hmm. It was the second interview, and it will be next in Wrestling Ride in our podcast. Yeah. She's amazing.
Tell me more about the podcast. I'm really interested to know more about the Wrestling Ride podcast.
Really?
How long has it been
happening? Let me tell you about the podcast, because we have Wrestling Ride. We are speaking about everything happening in WWE in weekly episodes. We talking about Monday Night Raw. We're talking about SmackDown. Also, we are telling the stories of WWE, of what happened in the Attitude Era. Also of what happened and some special occasions of WWE, like the streak of Undertaker. What is the secret of the streak? Why the Undertaker having all these winning matches? So We had a special episode about The Undertaker, about the women's evolution. We had Stephanie McMahon in that episode.
Wow.
Also Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks, and all WWE women's superstars. Not only that, we are these days having a series, special series. It's about Crown Jewel. So we had the first episode was about the secret and backstage of WWE. What happened in the backstage in the morning? Because I've been there 5 times in the backstage with WWE. I saw everything. I know how they prepare themselves. So I was speaking about Seth Rollins and Otis, because Otis, there is something funny about him. Otis, he's the one who Dick Romies. I don't know what's been in English. Dick Romies.
Say again?
Dick Romy.
Dick Rumi. You know what? I do know that.
It's like it is
turkey?
big chicken.
Turkey?
Turkey, yeah,
yes.
Turkey.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's the one that who like to eat the chickens, turkeys, and he has a little bit of thing that he liked to do in his way.
Okay.
So he was eating his chicken in the kitchen when everyone was eating, telling himself, "Oh yeah, it's a chicken," and he's eating like he's in TV doing his character. So I like that, because we are not only seeing them do these things on TV, they are doing it also in backstage every time, everywhere. So
it must be nice seeing them behind the scenes, backstage, because every fan wants to be backstage and wants to see how they prepare. But you got a chance to see that.
Yes, let me speak about Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, if you met him before, he's so funny, speaking with everyone. He's like, he's in the first place, he's a WWE fan. He's a wrestling fan. So it's always good to speak with him. It's always having fun with him. But when it comes to the match day, no, Seth Rollins, every time he's alone, he like to eat alone, stay focused, walk alone. He's into himself. So I didn't see anyone like Seth Rollins, because he's so focused and his match. So that's something I do really loved about Seth Rollins, because everyone was, or most of them, was having a normal day, speaking with each other, relax, going to the restaurant, having their lunch, breakfast, training. But Seth Rollins was different. Undertaker was different. Roman Reigns was different, because all these 3 stars, they like to be alone. They like to. Seth Rollins, he doesn't have his special room like Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns or Undertaker. But even though this is not a step to not let him focus, he always find his way to be focused and to be alone.
Which one surprised you the most behind the scenes?
Brock Lesnar, because Brock Lesnar on TV, he's a beast. Yeah. But when you see him in the backstage, he's lovely. He's social.
Really?
Speaking of the superstars, he's having good times, laugh, giving jokes with his friends. He most of the time stay with Paul Heyman, his agent or his guy,
manager.
His manager. If I can say that. Brock Lesnar was shocking, because the beast that we saw on the TV, so kind in the backstage.
Wow, I didn't know that. Okay, coming up next, we're going to get more insight from the fantastic Faisal right after the break on the only place to be at 3, the halftime show on Pulse 95.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri on Pulse 95.
Salam and welcome back to the halftime show. I never thought I would get so much insight from what happens behind the scenes, because when I was much younger, I used to really wonder, how does it feel to be behind the scenes? And Faisal was giving us a huge insight. So if you missed the show, make sure you check out the show on YouTube on Pulse 95 Radio. Faisal gives us some real insight on who surprised him the most, who he saw was sitting alone, who was the nicest as well, which you might not expect. So make sure you tune on to the show. Faisal, the WWE has changed a lot. And obviously with COVID and then fans and then no fans and then the merging of a lot of people, how much has it changed recently after COVID?
It was a chance after COVID because the pandemic in WWE. They first of all we supposed to have biggest event with WrestleMania in 2020, but unfortunately because of the pandemic, they made WrestleMania but in small way. In the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida, and they didn't stop because WWE always there. So they didn't stop. They were on TV every week, but having like Drew McIntyre against Brock Lesnar, it was really amazing match to see in front the people, with the audience, with everyone supporting and chanting or booing. But we saw this match in the Performance Center when Brock Lesnar against Drew McIntyre doing that alone. So this wasn't a good time, but WWE made it perfectly because it was shocking, not only for WWE but all the world. Yes. Everything was shutting down.
Yes.
So but they created something called Thunderdome, which is amazing because on August we started with Thunderdome. Thunderdome is like having the audience, but like on Zoom, like we're doing now.
Yes.
On TV, on the screens. So at least we have them there. So it was international audience from everyone from the world. Tickets were for free. You just took your place, going to the website, taking a place in the Thunderdome, and it was with the fireplace. Is it? Is it how they called it? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Good. Also, and big stadium.
Okay.
It was great. And we saw great matches, like the coming back of Roman Reigns in the Thunderdome, seeing Roman Reigns facing Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, or seeing Bray Wyatt against Braun Strowman, or also watching the amazing tag team Sasha Banks and Bayley. It was amazing seeing WWE with Thunderdome because it was so creative to create Thunderdome. It was good. It was better than what the Premier League did, or the La Liga, or everyone in the world, because WWE made it so perfectly. It was like the future of having a TV show, using all the digital things in the arena, making this big shows without audience, but the audience actually were there on the screens. If you didn't see that, just search on the YouTube WWE Thunderdome and watch what WWE made in the hardest time in the year.
That's so
but nothing like the audience. When they back, starting from SmackDown before Money in the Bank, then Money in the Bank, it was so amazing because the audience is the life of WWE and the life of wrestling. Without audience, there is no wrestling.
Absolutely. And that kind of energy now, can you see the wrestlers acting different now that the audience are back in the stadium and the energy is much higher again?
Of course it will be different. It was different. It is like having a podcast with audience or doing that in home. You can do it perfectly in your home, but the energy will be different when you see them with you. This is the different. It is like when you're having a song without audience, it is not like when you're doing a song with your audience. It's different. It's like having a match in football or any sport without audience.
Yes.
So WWE was telling stories to the people on TV, and that was so great. But with audience, this is a new level of excitement.
Fantastic. Okay, coming up next, we're going to find out more from Faisal about where you can follow him, what's coming up in the WWE, and also the question I'm going to ask him: is old gold, and should characters like the Ultimate Warrior be brought back in the WWE? On the only place to be at 3, the Halftime Show on Pulse 95.
This is the Halftime Show with Omar Al-Duri on Pulse 95.
Salam and welcome back to the Halftime Show. This is the final segment, and we're almost at full time on the Halftime Show. I've loved having this guy on the show, man. His energy is great, and it brings me back to all these superstars that we see on TV in the WWE growing up. I need to ask you a question, Faisal. You know, the WWE obviously is booming, and everyone is watching, and a lot of people are into it. Some people just love the old school generation. Okay, you know, you mentioned it earlier, the Hulk Hogan's, you know, and for me, the Ultimate Warrior was my absolute favorite. Is old gold, and should characters like the old school be reintroduced into the new school?
Man, they are legends. They built the industry.
Yeah.
So all the respect to Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, but everyone doing his job, his part of making the history. So it started with these guys, but the stories never stop, should never stop. I think most of people start watching WWE or wrestling in general with these names, so they are so loyalty to these names. As I'm so loyalty to John Cena and Roman Reigns and Becky Lynch, Sasha, Bianca, because these are my superstars. I loved wrestling by watching them. So of course, no one will be in their place in my heart, in my opinion. So even if we saw wrestlers or superstars better than them, we'll be always with the names that we start love the industry by watching them. So if you are born in 90s, maybe John Cena is your favorite, and 80s, maybe Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Rock your favorite. It is like that. But at the end of the day, everyone doing his part of creating the history of the industry. So all of them doing it was different chances. So what The Rock made and did can't be happen with someone else, because it was different chances. It was different position of this era and this era. For about these days, it's different. The stories, WWE telling the stories in different way, because people different now. The platforms, the social media, the digital media, all these things, everything is different. So it has to tell. It should be. They should have a new story, and they doing it. As the Roman Reigns now head of the table, it's really amazing. As Sasha Banks, Women's Revolution, a lot of things. Stone Cold Steve Austin will be something never forget. Hulk Hogan, because these who started the industry. But everything is changing in this life, and the most amazing thing that WWE know that, so they are always trying to create new things, new characters. They always trying to reach to the people in their way. So this is the point.
And tell us, Faisal, where can we follow you? I know you're active. I know you do podcasts. I know you do social media. Where can we follow you on the Halftime Show?
Absolutely, Wrestling Ride with Rising Giant Network. You can find me there weekly with every Sunday episode, speaking about everything in WWE. Not only that, sometimes we have a special series, interviews with WWE superstars, a lot of amazing things. Not only that, also you can find me on Twitter. You can search in Arabic, Faisal AlMughaisib. And you'll find me in all my other accounts also, like Instagram and Facebook. But I'm good with Twitter now. So because the community is there of wrestling, so I'm in Twitter better than the others. Yeah.
Fantastic. Faisal, loved your energy. Really happy you came on the show. I'm glad we met as well, and I'm sure we will meet again. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much. I didn't used to have interviews in English, but I hope that I did well.
Great. You did great.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, everyone, see you in Crown Jewel. If you couldn't be in Saudi Arabia, 1st of October, please watching us on TV and supporting Wrestling Ride, because this is the greatest wrestling show.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And there you have it, folks. That is the end of the interview with the man himself, talking to you about all WWE. Thank you, Faisal AlMughaisib. Thank you very much for being with us. I really appreciate it. You've been fantastic. And he did the show in English as well, folks, which is just showing how talented this guy is. Take care, and I will see you guys soon. Peace and love, guys. I'm out. Salam.
Thanks, Omar.
If you liked this episode of The Halftime Show, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.